كل داء. نسألك يا رب فرجا عاجلا وقريبا ونصرا مؤزرا لأهلنا في غزة وفلسطين وفي سائر بلاد المسلمين. اللهم يا رب فرج عن أهل الشام وعن أهل اليمن والسودان وعن كل مبتلى ومكروب من عبادك المؤمنين يا رب العالمين، آمين. ما يزال حديثنا في هذه الليلة المباركة حول بعض أحكام الزكاة، ولكننا سنبدأ بمقدمة أننا في هذه الليلة نحن في أرجى ليلة أن تكون هي ليلة القدر، وقد كان بعض الصحابة يقسم أنها ليلة 27، وإن كان الرأي الأقوى أنها محتملة في الليالي العشر جميعاً، وهي في الوتر أرجى، لكن أرجى ما تكون في ليلة 27. فإذا تحقق أن أحيا الإنسان المؤمن ليلة القدر فإن أعماله وما يقدمه فيها من الخير سيتضاعف أضعافاً لو أنه عاش عمراً كاملاً يعبد الله سبحانه وتعالى بهذه الأعمال، لن يستطيع أن يعادل هذا الأجر. ولذلك من قام هذه الليلة إيماناً واحتساباً غفر له ما تقدم من ذنبه وضُعفت له أجوره. فكل عمل من الخير نعمله في هذه الليلة، سواء كان بتلاوة القرآن أو بتعلم شيء من العلم أو بالقيام مع الإمام حتى ينصرف أو بتقديمنا في أوجه الخير وصدقاتنا إن شاء الله، كل هذا بإذن الله مضاعف. تخيل أنك سوف تحاسب وكأنك تؤدي هذا العمل أكثر من 1000 شهر في حياتك، أكثر من 80 عاماً وأنت تقوم بهذا العمل في كل ليلة. ولذلك كانت هذه الأمة كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم: نحن الآخرون الأولون يوم القيامة، الآخرون في الأزمان ولكننا الأولون دخولاً في الجنة والسابقون لهم في الأعمال والفضائل، لأن الله خص هذه الأمة بمضاعفة الأجور وخصها بهذه الليلة المباركة. So tonight, inshallah Rabbil Alameen, is the night that Laylatul Qadr is the most expected. Yes, it could be in any night during the last 10 nights of Ramadan. It's in the odd nights, more expected, but this night, the night of 27, is the most expected night to be Laylat al-Qadr. Even some of the Sahaba used to swear that Laylat al-Qadr is the 27th night. And this night, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, this is the night when the revelation of Quran has started. This is the night when the Quran has been sent down from the Lawh al-Mahfuz, the holy script, to the Al-Bayt al-Ma'mur, to the place where it was there, and then it was revealed to the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And this is the night where the destiny of the people will be written. This is the night where the rewards of good deeds will be doubled by hundreds and thousands of times. It is whatever you do tonight of prayers, of learning, gaining knowledge, of dhikr, of reciting Quran, of sadaqah and giving, all of this will be doubled inshallah Rabbil Alameen as you are doing this every night for at least 1,000 months, more than 80 years, something that we cannot even obtain in a whole life, because even if we lived for 80 years, the first 10 or 15 years we will be children, and in the last years we will be so old we would not be able to do all these good deeds. But in one night you will be able to do this. So as the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, we are the last ummah, but we will be entering Jannah the first, and we will be the higher ummah in their rewards and this blessed night of Laylat al-Qadr. And we started in the last durus to talk about the zakah. And last dars I was talking in Arabic, and I will give now a brief in English about how to calculate the amount of zakah. If you own money in your account, in your savings or checking account, or you have it in a cash, and you have it for a whole lunar year. For example, you have these $10,000 in your bank account, and you did not use them since the last Ramadan, then you have to give zakah for them. It's 2.5%. And this is for any money that could be used to grow your wealth, like gold, silver, cash money, the currency, and also market stocks, and also now the cryptocurrency. All these things, if you have them for more or for one lunar year, then you have to give 2.5%. But also, zakah depends on the type of income and how you earn this money. For most of people, they earn their money through the salary, through their payments and salaries. So if you save money from your salary, if your salary is as the usual, and you use it for your life costs, but you save some money. If you are able to save some money and it reaches the nisab, and you have it for a whole lunar year, then you have to give the zakah for it. There are things that you don't have to give zakah for, even if they're worth a lot. For example, the house that you live in, the car that you use, things that at your home that you use, the TVs, the furniture, things like this, you don't pay zakah for them. Also, for ladies, the jewelry they use, the golden ornaments they use for weddings and things like that, they don't have to pay zakah if they are,
Sheikh Hassan is asking if we can have people move.
I will tell. Okay. They don't have to pay zakah for them if the amount of gold is within the usual limit. For example, if the value of this gold is $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, she does not have to pay zakah. But if her husband loves her too much, and in every Eid he buys her a lot of gold, in every anniversary, and she has 2 kilograms of gold, then this is too much, more than, even she cannot wear all this gold for a wedding party or something like that. So the extra amount, let's say the first 50,000, let's say that a lady has a gold, the value of this gold is 100,000. The first 50,000, she does not have to pay zakah for, but she has to pay zakah every year for the extra amount, the other 50,000. For the merchants who has the grocery stores, the supermarkets, things like that, those who buy things and resell them, like also pharmacies, the chemists, sometimes the electronic devices, places, you buy and sell. In this case, you have to calculate the value of the inventory you have, and then you add it to the cash and the money in the account, in the bank account you have, deduct, no? Okay. And then you deduct the debts you owe, you have to pay, within a short period, and add the money that others owe you, and then you calculate the zakah depending on that. So if let's say, the owner of a grocery store finds that he has 100,000 of the value of the inventory in his store, and he has in the bank account another 50,000, we have 150, he deducts the debts, which are let's say 20,000, and he adds the debts that others owe him, which are, let's say, 10,000. So it was like 140,000, he has to pay 2.5%. If you have a kind of investment, a farm, a factory, also the buildings that you rent out, like apartments, stores, plazas that you rent out, نعم. Yeah, بسرعة. الحول, you calculate the year depending on the lunar year. For example, if you pay your zakat in Ramadan, every Ramadan, the next Ramadan, you have to recalculate. No, it doesn't matter. You calculate whatever you have. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You don't, you calculate whatever, because you sold some of them and you brought in new ones, so you calculate whatever you have. So let's imagine that we have like a car dealer, okay? So he is renting the place from Zaid, and Amr is the owner of the car dealer, the car dealership. So the building is owned by Zaid. Zaid has to pay 10% of the net profit of the rent or of the income that comes from that building. So if he is like getting 100,000 from this place, from renting out this place, but he pays, let's say, taxes, fixing things, all the costs, he deducts them, and then from the net profit, he pays 10%. But the one who buys and sells cars, he has to calculate the value of the cars that he owns, and then he should add to this the cash money he has, deduct the debts, add if he will get money from others, and then pay 2.5 of the whole value. And there are other types of zakah also. There is people who are using the natural sources. For example, those who invest in solar power, those who are invest in like mining, in oil, and things like that. This is known as ma'dan. Or if you find a kind of treasure, if you get like something you are digging in your backyard and you find a jar full of gold, then you have to give 20% of this. This is known as al-ma'dan and al-rikaz. Okay? And this is so common if we have some of our young people here. No one, I don't think any of us has maybe petroleum well. في عندك بير بترول. But now we have like those who invest in mining Bitcoin, for example. They buy devices and they start mining the Bitcoin and getting this Bitcoin. They have to pay 20% of the net profit they earn from that source. So this is in basic, in brief, how to calculate the zakah. Also, where to give the zakah. Zakah should be given to one of the 8 parties mentioned in Quran: the poor, the needy ones. And the poor, who are the people, is the people who cannot or do not have any income or very small amount of income that is not enough for anything. For example, the homeless people. For example, now, unfortunately, and in these hard times, our brothers and sisters in Gaza, most of them are in the category of poor, because it's even hard for most of them to get only food enough for one day. So they are of the poor. The needy, al-masakin, are the people who earn some income, but it's not enough for their basic needs. If you need like $4,000 a month to pay for rent and bills and to feed your family and for medical costs and things like that, then and this person gets only 2,000, then he has a shortage of another 2,000. This person is needy. And there are the other parties, like those who work in let's say distributing the zakah and collecting it, العاملون عليها, al-gharimin, the people who are in debt, who cannot pay back the debts, في الرقاب, the free the slavery, but no, we don't have it. Ibn al-Sabil, the person who is traveling outside his country and he does not, at that time there were no MoneyGram and Western Union, he needs someone to give him money to go back to his country, things like that. But the most important question, can we give our zakah to the mosques, to support mosques? Actually, there is something called fi sabilillah. Fi sabilillah, the scholars have two opinions about it. Some of them said fi sabilillah is for jihad, to pay for protecting Muslims and defending the Islamic countries, and also to spread Islam. And others said fi sabilillah for everything, for every good cause, building hospitals, schools, things like that. But actually, we believe that mosques in the Islamic countries are not included in the share of fi sabilillah, because there are like ministers of awqaf who are responsible for covering the costs of these mosques. But in the West, in the United States, for example, no, our mosques are depending on the community, what you give, what the community gives. And also, these mosques are doing the same thing that is the purpose of jihad.